Confederate soldiers under command of General Robert E. Lee come in contact with the Union Army after advancing into the town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look for clothes and food. Union suffers heavy losses, and some 5,000 prisoners are gone. The Union Army retreats to Cemetery Hill for reinforcements. Union, under command of General Meade, set up a defense in the form of a fishhook. Union had higher ground, which forced the Confederate soldiers to retreat back to the cemetery. Confederate plans to take higher ground and force the Union Army to surrender.
How about him? Pew. 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 Oh, God. Ah! He's dead. Ow. Stop. Oh, are you making your video? Ah! I win.
The Union soldiers were dug in at Cemetery Ridge a mile away. 150 Confederate cannons fired at the ridge. 12,500 men of the Confederate Army formed what is known as Pickett's Charge. Only 5,500 soldiers survived.
Here we come. Pew. 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 Pew.
I'm sorry. I surrender. I am Confederate man.
Pew.
No.
Pew. Pew.
What's me?
It's over, yeah?
Pew.
Yeah.
Pew.
President Abraham Lincoln visited Gettysburg about 7 months after the battles. Everett spoke for 2 hours when Lincoln only spoke for 2 minutes. The address was spoken at the Memorial for Troops on November 19, 1863.
This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This reading by Michael Scherer, www.americanaphonic.com. The Gettysburg Address. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of it as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, But in a larger sense we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us the living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they have thus far so nobly carried on. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that this government, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. End of the Gettysburg Address.